The Pareto principle, also known as the Pareto rule or the 80-20 rule, states that roughly 80% of outcomes come from 20% of causes. Put differently, approximately 80% of outputs come from 20% of inputs. A general example of this principle would be that roughly 80% of an organization's revenue is generated by 20% of its customers. Or approximately 80% of a project's benefits is tied to 20% of the project work. The main idea behind this principle is that the relationship between inputs and outputs is not balanced. The majority of results come from a minority of inputs. The Pareto principle was introduced by and named for the economist Vilfredo Pareto and was later adapted to quality management by Joseph Juran. Based on this principle, we assume that roughly 80% of quality problems are due to 20% of causes. For example, approximately 80% of a software's failures are caused by 20% of the software's bugs. Note that this doesn't mean that if 20% of the bugs are most important, then the remaining 80% must be unimportant. Rather, it means that working on 20% of the bugs can provide the greatest gain with least effort by eliminating 80% of the problems. Project teams create Pareto charts to determine the vital few causes that account for the majority of quality problems. A Pareto chart is a bar chart that ranks the relative importance of causes of problems in descending order. To illustrate, say that a software development project team is getting numerous complaints from users. To rank the relative importance of the complaints, the project team creates the following Pareto chart. This chart shows that only two causes, being not user-friendly and slow loading time, account for roughly 80% of user complaints. In this case, working on these two causes first will make the greatest increase in user satisfaction as compared to eliminating the other four causes. Lastly, let's take a look at the ultimate tips for exam success. The main idea behind the Pareto principle is that the relationship between inputs and outputs is not balanced. The majority of results come from a minority of inputs. Based on the Pareto principle, we assume that roughly 80% of quality problems are due to 20% of causes. Project managers can use Pareto charts to determine which causes of quality problems they should focus on first to make the greatest improvement in performance. In Pareto charts, bars are ordered based on their values in descending order from left to right.